Greetings, everyone. Thank you for joining us today for another episode of Memories of Plymouth. We've been on film now for about 7 years, and our goal from the very beginning was to try to collect and save the history, the culture of the towns that we live in, and that's including Plymouth and all the surrounding towns. It's important to remember what our community is made up of, and there's nothing better than having people coming in and sharing stories and their memories with us. Today, I'd like to introduce you to Gordon McCormack. Thank you, Gordon.
You're welcome.
For coming in. We have a group of questions to ask you. If there's anyone in the town of Plymouth and surrounding areas that does not know you, we're going to ask some questions so they can get to know you. You all set?
Very well.
Yes,
yes, I am.
Please state your full name.
Gordon Franklin McCormack, Sr.
Senior.
Yes.
All right. Franklin. It's your middle name? Was it a given name from a family member? Where did it come from?
Mother had a little problem. She had 8 boys before me, and she was running out of boys' names, and she accepted this name of Franklin because of President Franklin D. Roosevelt.
Try not to laugh.
No.
So I had to look it up, and Franklin, let's see, he reigned from 1933 to 1945. Then after that time, they decided they were only going to have two 4-year sessions of presidents. And you were born on April 30th. So you came about a month and a half after President Roosevelt.
Right.
That's pretty neat. That's pretty neat.
Right.
All right. Where were you born, sir?
I was born in Holderness.
Mm-hmm. And was it at home?
It was at home.
All right. Did you have anyone help out, Mom?
Mother had a, what did they call them?
Very
Midwife, I believe
good.
it was, yes.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. And I think it's pretty interesting that you are one of many children. How many brothers, sisters were there?
I had 8 brothers and 4 sisters.
So your mother was very busy. Mm-hmm.
Sure was.
What was Mom's name?
Alice Ruth.
Alice
Davis
Ruth.
McCormack.
All
Yeah.
right. Wow. Wow. And during your time, what did Mom do for a job, occupation?
Mother stayed home.
Stayed
She had
home.
a full-time job.
I think.
She did do some work, chamber work, at the Plymouth Inn.
Oh, Plymouth Inn, people, that's on your way to South Main Street on the right-hand side, for
Yes.
those that are not.
Oh, yes, yeah,
All
yeah.
right then, all right then. If I asked you to describe your mother, what might you say to me?
Oh, boy. It's hard.
Yeah.
She was beautiful.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Great pianist.
Oh, wow,
Played the piano for me by the hour.
wow.
I love music.
So you had a piano in the house
Oh,
along
we
with all
did.
those siblings?
We did.
Wow.
We did.
All right,
And,
nice.
yeah.
Thank you. I'm going to read exactly what you told me the last time we met.
Oh, good.
No, you just said your mother had a heart of gold.
She did.
I loved it. And then she enjoyed playing the piano, so I
Well,
had to write that down.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. How about Dad? His name, please?
Albert Librarius McCormack.
A most unusual middle name for me.
Yes.
I don't know if I've ever heard anyone with that name.
No, I haven't either.
Very interesting. If we could bring them back, wouldn't that be fun? And ask
Yeah,
them why?
would be.
Yeah.
Would be.
You've got it. And he, for his occupation?
Dad, for years, was road agent for the town of Holderness. And after he retired from that, he was a livestock dealer. And he used to visit all the family farms, and they needed a family cow, or they had to get rid of a family, you know. And he was a buyer-seller, and busy, busy, busy.
So your house was a farm on River Street?
It was. All
right.
Yeah.
And did you buy them? Or was it just something the calves grew themselves into the cows and then you sold them?
No, he would buy them, and whatever that he might sell it to as a family cow, or it might go for beef, whatever,
All right.
whatever the case might be.
All right then.
yeah.
All right. If you were to describe your father, what might it be?
Happy, loved music.
Wow.
I think that's where I got it from.
Wow. Wow.
And loved children. Loved everywhere he got. He would always be giving this to this child and giving this to this child. And
Make him happy.
he was.
Yeah.
Loved kids.
Oh,
He had to have.
well, to have that many.
Look how many he had. I don't know if he stopped or mother said, Dad, we gotta stop. I don't know.
You don't have to answer the following, but I'd like to have you list your sisters' first names.
Sure.
Okay.
There was Hazel, Bernice, Helen, and Mary.
You've got it. That's good. Now, if I ask you to do
Sure.
the same for the boys?
Sure.
All right.
There was Leroy, Kenneth, Robert, Noel, Albert Jr., John, Eugene, and myself, Gordon.
Wow.
Yeah.
For the audience, you were the last surviving McCormack in that
I
family.
am.
And how old are you?
As of April 30, I'll be 90 years old.
Another decade.
Yep.
That's exciting. That's
Yep.
really exciting.
Yep.
So we're going to be the very first to wish you a happy birthday.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. We have a wife. Had a wife.
I had a wife for
Yeah.
66 years.
Wow. And her first name
Thelma.
and maiden name?
Thelma Louise Lyford McCormack.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm related to her, maybe. Louise.
Yes, yeah, sure.
I'm
Sure.
stretching that
Maybe
a little
that's
bit.
where you got your name. Who
Maybe
knows?
it is. I'll have to ask. I'll have to ask. And she's been gone now for about 4 years.
4 years.
4
yeah,
years.
Yeah.
Wow.
As of April. Yeah.
Wow. And you have children?
Oh, I do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had 4,
All right.
3 boys and a girl.
And their names?
My oldest boy, Gordon Jr., he passed away 3 or 4 years ago.
3 or 4 years ago?
Yeah.
About the same time as your wife.
Yeah, right after her, yeah. And then I have my beautiful daughter, Cindy,
Mm-hmm.
and then I have Timothy, and then I have David.
Any of them close to home? Plymouth.
No, well, Cindy lives down in Sandminton, and David lives in Meredith Center.
All right.
Timmy, he's in Massachusetts. Yeah.
Okay. Do you have any grandchildren?
Oh, yes.
Do you?
Yeah, we have a few. Yeah.
Do I dare ask their names? I'm putting you on the spot.
No, it's all right. I just have to stop and think. The oldest of that would be Cindy. She has Jamie and Aaron. And then there would be Timothy. He has, David, Jimmy, Scott, and Allison. And then the next one is
David.
David.
Yeah.
David has 2 girls, and beautiful children, beautiful children.
I'm going to switch gears a little bit and talk about your education for a while.
Okay.
All right.
That's good.
At that time, did you have kindergarten? Did they offer it for you?
No.
Okay. All right. So we'll go next. First grade. Where did you have first grade?
First grade, I had it down in East Holderness.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And it was Lena B.C. Smith was the teacher.
Wow. And she taught just that grade, first
No,
grade?
8 grades.
Wow.
8.
Wow. 1 through 8. I'm taking notes. Can you tell?
Oh, good. That's good. That's good.
All right. So she taught 8 grades. Wow. So we went from Holderness, and let's see.
Yep.
I have you down, and you may correct me, please. In the middle of 3rd grade, middle of the year of 3rd grade, you moved from Center Harbor to North River Street in Holderness.
Yes, I did.
Is that correct? Okay.
I did.
All right. And I even have a list of teachers. Should I put you on the spot again? And
Previous to that, for schooling,
Mhm.
in the 2nd year, I went to Elm School, and that's in Holderness.
Okay.
It's up by Mount Prospect, up by the golf course, in case people don't know where it is.
Very nice. Thank you
And
for
then
doing that.
we went back to the farm, and then Dad sold, and he bought the place in Plymouth on River Street.
River Street.
And so I went into the 3rd grade in the middle of the year here in Plymouth. I finished my grade school here in Plymouth, and then I went to high school.
All right, then. I have some teachers here. And tell me if I'm correct.
Sure.
All right. In 4th grade, you had Miss Seavey.
Yes, okay.
All right. And is that correct? Yeah. 5th grade, you had Mrs. Mills.
Mills.
All right. 6th grade, we had Mr. Wagoneer.
Miss Wagoneer.
Ooh, I'll change that. Thank
Miss.
you.
Yeah.
And 7th grade, Huddleston. Mr.
Huddleston.
or Mrs. or Miss?
That was Mr.
All right. And then in 8th grade, we had Anna B. Brown.
Yes.
All right. Can you talk about the teachers at all then? What you remember, if anything, the subject matter, or maybe their personality?
Yeah, I have a couple of stories
All
about
right.
them.
You go for it.
And I don't remember much about the 3rd grade because it was in the middle, and
Sure.
but in the 4th grade, it was normal. It was wonderful, you know. 5th grade, Miss Mills, excellent teacher. And then when I got into the 6th grade, I had to make a visit to the dentist. And the school did that. They sent children to the dentist, and I went to Dr. Kroll, and he examined me, and I was scared to death. And he said, Gordon, you really don't want to stay. You really don't want it done, do you? And I said, no. And he said, you don't have to. And he let me go. But I had stuff in my mouth, and I went back to school, and no, I'm getting ahead of myself because it was in the sixth grade.
6th grade?
That I was talking to somebody in the class, and Miss Wagoneer said to me, McCormack, please be quiet. I said, yes, ma'am. And I started up again. She didn't say anything to me. She said, children, I'll be back in just a minute. She went into the 5th grade, got Miss Mills, and Miss Mills came back with her and invited me to go to the library.
Invited you?
They invited me to go to the library. I went to the library, and I got a spanking.
They physically touched
They
you?
physically did. And it's the best thing that ever happened to me. But anyways, yep, they laid me across Miss Mills' lap, and Miss Wagoneer's the one that did it. And yeah, but that was fine. It was fine. It hurt my pride. It hurt my, but what a wonderful experience and what a wonderful education it was.
Wow.
Yeah.
They could never do that to you today?
Well, I think they should. Anyways.
We're not going to go there. That is good. Wow. Just talking too much. Just talking too much?
It was my fault.
All right.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's a time to be quiet, and then there's a time to talk.
That's right. Respect. That taught me respect, too.
Wow. Wow. Good lesson learned.
Wonderful.
That's great.
Wonderful.
So we moved into, let's see, high school now.
High school.
And you walked to school?
Oh, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. People forget today, not many kids have the opportunity to walk to school.
Yeah, we walked across that bridge, yeah.
No matter what the weather.
Well, boy, yeah.
Yeah, I can remember that. And you had it much farther than I had to do that, that's for sure.
Yes,
yeah. So you're in high school for 4 years. That's another story.
Yeah, okay.
I'm going to shut you down on that. They're waiting right now for that. You were there, and what kind of extracurricular activities were you involved in? Did they have them?
Oh, yeah, we did. We played basketball, and I went out for football and baseball. You know, we played all the sports. Yeah.
They probably had those 3 primary sports then.
Oh, yeah, we did.
Football,
we
baseball,
did.
basketball.
We lived over by the ballpark, so we were there all summer. And,
That's great. That was great.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to, with some of the older pictures, I'm sorry I didn't do that. There are pictures of Draper, the D&M Park, Draper to Maynard Park, and the nice tall wood.
I remember when that tipped over. The wind tipped it over onto the road.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That had to be pretty strong to do that.
Oh, it was terrible. It was a wicked storm.
All right. And then they put it back up?
No, that was the end of the grandstand. Yeah.
All right.
It was sad.
Wow.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
I'll have to look for pictures for that.
Yeah.
Interesting. Was there a subject matter that you enjoyed in high school?
Not really.
Okay.
Not
Okay.
really. I did. Tom Goulart, he taught
Shop?
woodwork and shop.
Vocational,
And
yeah.
I really enjoyed that.
Mhm.
Yeah. I
Working
still
with
do
your
today.
hands.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. I'm not sure I shared this with you. Wouldn't it have been fun if I, female,
Yes.
could have taken shop?
Yes.
But even my era, we had no choice. The women took home economics.
Home economics.
And the men were in shop, and I was kind of jealous. I thought it would be fun to take a piece of wood and,
Oh boy. Oh yeah.
sand it down and varnish it a little bit.
Oh,
But
yeah.
I
Oh,
wonder
yeah.
what it's like today if we have a choice, or is it still done by gender?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah,
I
that'd
don't
be
know.
interesting.
I would
That would be
almost think
interesting.
it'd be a choice, but I'm not. I don't know.
No, I don't know either. I should ask. But we're in high school and something happens.
Oh yeah, some things do happen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Is that another story that you want to share?
Sure, I'll share it. Would you?
Okay.
Because like I say, well, I played all three sports, and football was over at the park,
Right.
and the coach, I can't remember his name, Lenahan? No, I'm not sure what the coach's name was.
Dawson?
No,
Okay.
he said to us, boys, he said, I want you to run from here down to that corner. I want you to go diagonal, because it's longer. Okay, so we all started off, and my buddy Muggsy Courier, we started down, we kept going and going, but the guys that started ahead of us had already turned and started back. So Muggsy said, hey, Mac, he says, all we do is we'll just turn around. He'll never know it. And we did. We turned around, and he did know it. And when we got back to the starting line, he informed me that I was to go to the locker room. And I went to the locker room. And guess what? My book stayed at the locker room, and I never went back.
You need to clarify. You never went back to the locker room.
To school.
You never went back
Period.
to
I
school.
quit school.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Enlisted in the Navy
Wow.
and went in service.
How old were we when you enlisted?
Oh,
Oh my
I-
gosh, it sounds early.
I can't tell you.
Okay.
Can't tell you.
Wow.
Afterwards, I hung around for a while, and then, my brother Bob, he asked me one day. He said, "I got to go up street. You want to ride with me?" And I said, "Yeah, I'll go up with you." So, his idea of going up street was to get me in his car so he could talk to me. He got me in there and he talked with me, and he says, "What are you doing? What's going on with you?" And I said, "Well, I don't know." And he says, "You quit school. Do you think that was smart?" And so on. He led on to me, and he said, "What are you going to do?" I said, "I don't know." Well, he says, "I have a suggestion for you." I said, "Oh?" He said, "I think you should enlist in the Navy and go in." He wanted me to, I don't know if he wanted me to have discipline or what, but anyways, so I did.
Do you know?
It was a while after that I thought about it, and I did. Yeah, and I'm glad I did. I'd do it again.
Why so? What did you learn through the service?
Discipline.
Okay.
Discipline.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What age, and we don't know the age, do we know the date, the year that we went into the service?
1952.
52.
Yeah.
So we have a war going on, Korean War.
Oh yeah, the Korean
Yeah.
War was going on. Yeah. Well, see, I had 5 brothers in during World War II, and then Eugene and I both were in during the Korean War. Yeah.
Can you? I can't imagine a parent,
I
mother
can't.
or father, having that many children gone all at the same time.
Yeah.
They still had children at home, but at the same time, it's not like we have email.
No.
We rarely got a letter, correct?
Absolutely.
Your parents must have.
But I came home from boot camp, and that's when I got married.
Wow.
And my wife wrote me a letter every night. I still have the letters.
No, you don't.
I
No.
do. I do. I got a stack of them.
Oh my God.
Yep.
Oh my
Yep.
God.
Yep.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I do.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. You shared with me, or I wrote it down, so help me. At that time, for every child, I can't say that, for every boy or girl that went into the service, the parents oftentimes put up an angel.
No, they had a star, and they made thing that's hung in the window. They have placed them in the windows.
So they would place a star for every child that was in the service,
Right.
adult. Yeah.
Right, right.
Wow.
Right.
Wow. So you're driving by, in your case, and you see a handful of
Yeah,
stars.
you would see
You
them.
knew that these people were in the service.
Yeah,
Amazing.
yeah, they were
Amazing.
stars, yeah, yeah.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
I'm going back to the letters from your wife. First name, please? Thelma.
Thelma,
Mhm.
yeah, yeah.
And you still have them.
I do. I do.
Wow. This is,
Yeah.
yeah, you just took my breath away on that one.
Wow.
You did. Let's switch a little bit. We've just finished a little bit about your education. So now you're getting jobs.
Okay,
Did you have jobs when you were growing up?
I did.
Please talk about that.
Well, probably one of the first jobs I had, I have a scarf from it right here. I was 11, 12 years old. I used to walk up here on Russell Street, not very far from here, down the road just a little bit.
Yeah.
There was two elderly women that lived there, and I used to mow their lawn with a real type push mower, and they'd pay me 25 cents to mow their lawn. And one day when I was mowing it, it hung up, and I had to tip it over and turn the cutters, and I caught my thumb, and I don't know if you could see it or not, but it's right here. I still had the right there where it's cut.
Oh, I can feel it.
Yeah,
I can feel
yeah,
it
yeah.
after all these years.
All those years.
Wow.
All those years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Was 25 cents good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, boy, that was, I
Mhm.
mean, well, we used to pick up bottles, like Tommy Volpe and Clem told me.
Mhm.
that
Clem
said
Seminole.
that, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
They were my schoolmates, you know.
Yeah. Oh.
Oh, yeah, oh,
Uh-huh.
yeah, oh, yeah. And in fact, I played basketball with Clem. He was
Uh-huh.
on the Alley Cats. That was the name of our team.
Oh.
Intramural basketball,
All
you know.
right.
And yeah, they're two good boys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Still with us?
I know, I saw them
Mhm.
on your program.
Oh, you watched them?
Oh, yeah.
That
oh,
was
yeah.
very fun for me to
Oh,
have
it was
them.
fun for me, too.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. That was
Yeah.
because
They've changed so much, though,
Oh, physically.
physically. Yeah, ever so much.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I would never have recognized Clem.
Oh, wow.
I would have Tom.
Clem probably is one of the youngest, or if not the youngest, Seminole of that large family. Large
Yeah,
family.
I think he is. He is. Richard was older than
Mhm.
him. Yeah, oh yeah, there was a bunch of them.
And then when I made the connection of Tom Volpe to his mother, who taught us, would she
she
have
was-
taught you?
Oh, I love that woman. And she loved me too. She had a birthday party at the senior center here. I don't know how it wasn't that long ago, 5, 8, 10 years ago. I can't remember when. And she told them that I was her favorite student. She was good to me.
She scared me. I was a little intimidated, but I did the work and I thought I learned a great deal from her.
We come the end of the school year, and she said, "Mr. McCormack, I would like to see you after class." And I said, "Yes, ma'am." So everybody left except me. And I walked down to her front desk there, and I said, "Yes, you would like to see me. Mr. McCormack, this is the last week of school. And Mr. McCormack, you owe me 5 book reports. And if I don't receive them by the end of the week, you will not pass." Yes, ma'am. I went out, got 5 of my girls. They all give me a book report. I copied it over.
We're not showing this on TV right now.
and took them in, and she knew it. Miss, thank you. She said to me, "Thank you." She passed me.
Now, when you say girls, 5 friends.
5 of my classmates.
There we go. I am not
Beverly-
sharing this. I'm not
Bev-
sharing this on TV.
Oh, you're not? Beverly LaFleur and Joyce Philbrook and, I can't remember.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
that's amazing. That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's get back, and we just switched. Let's
Okay.
go back to business now. What other businesses have you been involved with over the decades?
Well, let's see. When I started out, the very first job I had working, I worked for Orajocks,
Mm-hmm.
and then I worked for Warren Blake,
Okay.
washing dishes.
All right, Aura Jocks, though, you helped out.
They had a place where the bakery was.
Very good.
Anderson's Bakery.
Absolutely.
Jocks had a place there.
I think they started it.
They did.
Yeah,
they
I
did.
think they built it.
They did.
Yep.
They started it. And I had them. I worked setting pins for Louis Francisco. I had a lot of jobs. I always worked.
Where was the bowling alley at that time? Would it have been down at where the senior center is now?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
I'm trying to do
yes,
that.
Yes, it was.
Yeah,
It
and you
was.
made mention of Louis Francisco because he is, I think he's related to the Jockses.
Yes.
Somehow.
Yes.
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 All right.
I can't remember.
I should call Kim or Peter and have them tell me what the
Yeah.
relationship was, but I'm pretty sure on that.
Yeah.
All right, that's fun. That's very fun. Then quite a few stores in town. You worked in quite a few stores?
Yes, I did. Yeah, I worked for A&P, and then I worked for, who else did I work for? I worked for First National.
There we go.
I can't think.
But most of your time was spent, decades. You were what? For decades, you worked for who?
Oh, I worked for Prudential for 8 years.
Yeah, but not the big one. The big one you spent a couple decades?
I spent 28 years selling cars.
There we go.
Yeah.
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 And I'm going to ask you once, and you're going to quickly give me an answer. You spent 1 year in a very different position. What was that position?
Oh, working for the state prison. Yeah.
Very different out of everything else you've been doing.
That was an education all of its own.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which, you had one more too. You also told me one time you were working for Laconia Hospital.
Yes, I worked 10 years for Laconia Hospital.
Wow.
The last 10 years I worked, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you had hospital, you were a dealer with cars all that time, state prison, amazing. Tree service was one.
Yes.
Very beginning?
I worked for Phil Eastman
Okay.
and his crew. We worked down on the Mohawk Trail in Massachusetts. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Which one did you enjoy the best?
I can't tell you. I think selling cars probably.
Selling cars?
Yeah.
People.
Wonderful people.
Yeah. Very fun.
Had a very
fun.
good clientele. Always stuck with me. I always took care of them. You know.
Well, that's what you want today, right?
I sure did. Yeah.
You earn a reputation if you do.
Yes, I did, and I can still talk to them. They'll still talk to me.
That's what's important.
And you hear an awful lot of stories about salespersons, but oh well.
What I'd like to do now is ask some questions specifically about Plymouth or the surrounding towns, and you can pass anytime you want to.
Sure.
All right. Do you have any stories, memories of when you were a child growing up that just resonated, that you remembered? Did you play sports with certain friends? Did you have the same interest as your friends had? Did you love being outside?
Oh yeah, we spent most of our times outside.
Okay.
We did. In the summertime, we played ball all summer, and we used to ski. We all skied. The whole family skied.
Where would you have skied?
Well, we skied Frontenac and Wendy's Hill.
Right. Yes. Other side.
Yeah,
Wendy's Hill.
Wendy's, and then Huckins Hill.
Over here in Holderness?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. We lived over there a couple of years, just before. Well, it's where the Jim Avery Air place, where Francis O'Donnell, Sonny O'Donnell. I don't know if you know him.
Absolutely.
We lived there for quite a few, 5 years, I think.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is that before
And
you
that-
moved down on River Street?
Oh yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay.
We went from there back to the farm, and from the farm we went to River Street. Yeah.
Oh, that's fun. I
Yeah.
hope the McCormacks out there are taking notes.
Oh, they will. They know. Well, there are not that many left to take notes. So
The next
I'm sorry.
generation.
I'm
There are on the
sorry.
next generation. That's okay. That's okay. If I said to you weather, can you remember one or two incidences of really unusual weather during your childhood, older years?
I can remember quite a few floods.
Yeah.
Yeah. Different years. And especially when the grandstand blew over on the
D&M.
Yeah. yeah. The floods were bad, you know.
Now, we had floods when I was a child. I'm
Yeah.
on the other side of where you are, but they never came on our side.
No, they didn't.
Okay.
And when I worked for my brother Dick over on the Enterville, we got flooded out there quite a few times in the car business, you know. Yeah.
Can't even imagine the damage it did and what you
Oh,
had. You had
yeah.
to move some of them out the best you could.
Oh, yeah, it was terrible.
Wow, wow. Outside of flooding, any unusual events? Amount of snow. What's the largest amount of snow that you can recall?
I think that was about 1978, actually.
I think you might be
I
right.
was working for Bob David Motors up where the old hospital used to be. And I remember going home to Ashland, and I stopped in at the gym and helped them out because people were stranded. A lot of non-residents were stranded, and I went in and helped them.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, like tonight, we're supposed to get 3 to 5, and tomorrow we might get double that.
Yeah.
You never know until it happens. It could be that much more.
Yeah.
The weather is still unpredictable.
It is.
Yeah. But I like the amount of snow we used to have as children.
Oh, we always thought there was a lot of snow, but I'm thinking it's because we weren't quite so tall. Huh?
I like that one. Yeah, I do like that one.
Because I remember going up, we'd walk over to the ski tower over here, and because the snow would be way up to our knees or above our knees. And
Wow.
I think it's because we weren't.
So tiny.
Yeah,
You're really tiny.
Yeah,
But that's
yeah.
funny. That is funny. Let's see, talk fires. Is
Oh,
there
yeah.
a house fire? Is there a business fire that you can remember?
I remember the fire that took the Congregational Church. We were living on River Street, and our bedroom was up on the second floor, and we watched the steeple come down. We could see the firemen on the roofs of some of the buildings there,
Yeah.
trying to fight it. And
I'm going to ask you, was that the Congregational Church or was
Yeah.
that the Methodist Church?
Congregational Church.
So that's 83, 84.
I,
Methodist was 1943.
well, it must have been.
Especially because you're talking about this incredible steeple.
Yeah. It had to have been then because I was in grade school.
Okay.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you watched the steeple come
We
down.
did. Yeah. That was a terrible fire.
Yeah, it was. Very sad.
Wow.
Yeah. And it did a lot of destruction to the other stores that were attached to it.
Oh yeah. O'Brien's, Peasley's drugstore.
Wow. Would they have had Newberry's
There was
at
a
that
hardware store there. It stopped at Newberry's.
time? Okay.
It stopped at Newberry's. But it went from Newberry's to the old record office.
Very good.
Yeah, that's where it went.
What a shame.
Yeah.
What a shame.
And for years afterwards, there were some coal storages down by the railroad tracks.
Okay.
And those things smoldered for, I don't know how long, a long time
The
afterwards.
smell.
Yeah, evidently they were burning internally or something. I don't know. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
No. I've had a handful of people say, we watched it. We watched that
Yeah,
fire.
I saw that on the,
Yeah, amazing. Yeah. I need to move on. Oh, if I walked across the river decades ago, what were some of the stores, industries there immediately on my right? Immediately.
There was George Avery's, there was immediately, the first one was Grossman's.
Very good. Very
And
good.
you go down South River Street to Grossman's, and just past that, going toward the Enterville, excuse me, George Avery had a garage there. He did a lot of welding and repair work on cars and trucks and so on. Let's see, who else was down that way? Later on, this is where the restaurant is now, but that used to be a store. Chamberlain built a store there.
I can remember
Going
the
across the
store.
bridge, it would be on the left side, and just before my grandmother's house. My grandmother's house is the White House setting up on the whole knoll there.
Katie Cady is the company that
I don't know
operates
who
that
owns
now.
that now.
C-A-D-Y.
Is that what it is? Yeah,
I think it
yeah.
is. I think
That
it
was
is.
my grandmother's, yeah.
But I remember the store, and then the store had a little attachment to it, an annex.
Yes.
I was in there.
Yes.
When I was in there, it was a coin and stamp shop.
They also was a man there from Massachusetts that used to do the grinders.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
No, I can remember going in and watching these kids from Holderness School spending money on stamps.
Yep.
And I thought, oh,
Yeah.
little did I know I should have done that.
Yes, we should have.
But I had no idea. All right then. Yeah, let's see. I always ask about the fair. There's so many people that enjoyed the fair. Did you get to?
Oh, I loved it.
You loved
I
it.
loved it.
Mm-hmm.
We was there. It was 4 days. We were there 4 days.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
And all your brothers and sisters went?
Oh, we all. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Fun.
It was great. It was
Very
great.
fun. Yeah. Didn't realize 4 days, but it was a
It
4-day fair, I think.
We were there 4 days.
Okay,
too.
you got it.
Yeah. Plymouth State Fair. Yeah.
Was there an event that you liked more than any other?
No, well, yeah, the thrill shows there. Yeah,
Mhm.
I heard the boys mention that Denny Dearborn.
Mhm,
Yeah, he was a good friend of mine.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah. In fact, I worked for Denny. Denny was a partner with my brother Dick,
Ah, auto dealer.
auto dealer
Mhm, thank you.
over on the remote.
That's
yeah,
nice.
yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you a question and you can pass, but thinking back decades that you have lived, 9 decades shortly, and you've had so many events. You've had birthday parties, weddings, funerals, celebrations of whatever. Is there anything that stands out for you that you can remember?
No, I really
When
can't.
someone in your family got married, someone may have passed away. You lived in the town of Holderness. I don't know if that time they would have celebrated a 50th or 100th birthday or anything like that.
I can remember when my brother Newell and Elaine were married. They were married up just past Toby's Motor Court. There was a hotel there, and they rented that. That's where their wedding was. It was beautiful. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Yes, you do remember
In
that.
fact, he just passed away. He was the last brother that I had.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
yeah.
right.
Yeah.
You are the man.
yeah.
You
That's
are
it.
the man. That's why the stories need to be told and told and told.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to make you write your stories down. You wait and see.
Oh.
Keep
Oh, boy.
talking.
Oh,
Keep
boy.
talking.
Oh boy.
So when you reflect on your years here, what changes have you seen? Town of Plymouth, Holderness.
Town of Plymouth, just about every store is different. You know. Yeah.
Okay.
I can't say that it's for the better, but anyway, some of the old stores were pretty good.
Can you cite any that you
Well,
enjoyed?
especially Smaz.
Well, that's still there, but
I
there was
know
another
it.
Samahas.
And you know, that brings back a lot of memories for me. My brother Tex and I, we both played harmonicas. We used to buy our harmonicas here and our jackknives and
That's right.
whatever. Yeah. Yeah.
My father, I don't know what you call this, but he would,
Yes, yeah.
you know
yeah.
what that's called?
I was trying to think.
And he'd get a tune out of it. But
Yeah,
he could
yeah.
do harmonicas, and with no practice, he could play on the harmonica.
Yeah, well, Tex taught me. My brother Albert Jr., we called him Tex, and he taught me how to play.
Wow.
I still play today.
Do you?
Yeah, I still do.
You should have told me that before, because I would have made you bring
Well,
one. That would have been
well,
fun.
well.
You could teach me.
Yeah, well,
And some of them were this big, and then some of them
yeah,
were this big.
these I
chromatics.
use now with the chromatics.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
And then eBay came. So once
Then eBay came.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
you could get them online, and
Yeah.
that's the way it goes.
But
Yeah, that's growth. That's growth.
yeah,
Yeah, I was thinking about some of the businesses that were on the main street that are no longer. Draper and Maynard was replaced by O.A. Miller.
yep. I worked at O.A. Miller for a short period of time.
Wow,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
that went out. And the
Yeah.
college ended up purchasing
Yes,
that. Now
yes.
it's school.
Yeah,
Yeah. You said to me you went to your story about the dentist.
Yeah.
You knew Dr. Kroll.
Dr. Kroll.
All right, that was a good story. But you also went to Dr. Weitzel. That's what I wrote down.
Dr. Weitzel.
Okay, if it's not true,
I don't
I'm putting it
remember
away.
him. No,
I wrote it down.
it's okay.
It's okay. They won't kick us out for that. That's for darn sure. Yeah. Was there one, because you have such a large family, was there one person in the family more that really influenced you? And that could be a parent, that could be, you have so many brothers and sisters.
Well, I spent most of my time with my brother Gene.
Okay.
Yeah, because the boys, well, I spent quite a bit of time with the boys, but they were older. Gene was close. He was the next one up for me.
There we go.
And we had a lot of fun together.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're the second person in one day that says that there's some other people in town that you worked for that influenced you. And one of them, two of them were Warren and Lillian Blake.
Oh, yeah.
So you did some cleaning of dishes, whatever it was?
I did.
Mm-hmm.
I'll never forget Warren.
Hmm.
He was a great chef, you know. And I was in there washing dishes, and all of a sudden I heard this awful racket. What was it? Warren was making pea soup, and he took the lid of the pressure cooker off too quick, and that seal and nothing but pea soup all through that kitchen. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
What a mess! What a mess!
Wow. They had
He
that,
was a great guy, though. Warren was good to me. He really was.
he had a restaurant for a long time.
He did.
Yep,
he was a great guy.
Yeah. Oh, that's nice to hear.
Yeah.
That's nice to hear.
And Lil, she was good. She was a good woman.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. She had her own way. When I worked there. It's funny that this woman that was the waitress, Dot. I was trying to think of her last name. Randall. Dot Randall was a waitress.
Mm-hmm.
She waited on table, and I was a cook. But after, I don't know, here 2 3 years ago, this gal contacted me. She lives over in Tucson, Arizona. It was Dot's daughter, which was about 4 years old when we used to stop at Dot's lunch in Ashland. Yeah.
Wow.
And she wanted to come on because she has family here. And I said, well, look, you come ahead. You can stay at my place, no cost. And she did. She came and stayed 12 days.
After all these years?
Yeah, after these. This was 2 years ago.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Well, since I moved up to where I am now. And so she come on, and she stayed and visited with her friends. She had relatives here, too. And then I took her to Concord when she left, and she was going to stay with another friend there for a week, and then she's back in. But this was 2 years in Tucson, Arizona.
And all these decades in between?
Because of Dot, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
That's really good.
Yeah, I
that's
thought
really
so.
good. I like that one.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
Let's see. You had said to me the boys were in the service at one time. Some of them were in World War II, and some of them served during the Korean War.
Right.
You were stationed where?
I went to boot camp in Bainbridge, Maryland.
Okay.
And then from there I was transferred to the USS Worcester, which was a cruiser out of Boston, Mass. That was our home port was Charleston.
Wow.
Yeah.
Boston. I'm taking notes still.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then let's see. John was on the Ticonderoga in the Pacific?
Yes, he was.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And he
Saw a
made it.
lot of action.
Mm-hmm.
They took 3 of those kamikaze Japanese suicide planes. They almost lost the ship because when they hit the deck, they explode. And he told me that those boys were so scared, they ran right off the flight deck.
Wow.
I've been off the flight. Well, they trained us that we could, if we had to abandon ship. You never know what ship you're going on.
Yeah.
And they would take us up on the tower, and so we could. They taught us how to jump and survive. And
Wow.
it must have been one heck of a thing. Terrible, terrible thing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
My brother Tex, he was on an LST, which is a landing craft, and he was in Okinawa, and they ran aground, and they had to leave the ship there. They couldn't get it off, and they got him out of there, and then they transferred him to another ship. My brother Bob, he was on a cruiser, and he and 2 other ships captured a German ship down in South America. That was quite a thing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Newell was on a minesweeper, And there was when they swept the harbors, there was 3 minesweepers, and each time they made a pass, they would change positions. In other words, the guy that was in the worst part of it, he would move to the safest, and they just automatically did that. And they were the 3 of them. The middle one hit a mine, and it blew them up. Wow. Yeah.
Wow.
But they all saw. And my
Action.
brother Ken, he was in the Air Force, and he was in a secret place down in Panama Canal, taking care of planes. But when we never knew where he was. No, we didn't know where any of them were.
No, your family didn't know.
No.
Your mom and dad.
No.
I just can't envision
I
having
can't
all
either.
the kids,
Yeah.
boys,
Yeah.
gone at one time. Yeah. And then they came home.
And the beauty of it is 7 of us, all our names are over on the Holderness monument. Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, it is.
I love it.
Is. Yeah.
Yep. That's nice. Meredith has something like that. Plymouth, I think, has inside.
Holderness,
Yeah, Holderness does.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
thank all of them for serving.
Yeah. Well, that was our duties. I think every man should do it. I do, really.
Well,
I
you have
really
to-
do.
We have to say man and woman today.
Well, yeah, men and women both. Well,
Yeah.
just as much. Oh, absolutely.
Well, you see the world a little bit like you never would have.
Look at what we saw. Look at what I saw. I made 2 trips to the Mediterranean, and I've been in just about every country over there there is.
Isn't it? It's unbelievable. It never
Well,
would have
was
happened.
It was great. Yeah,
But you all came home, so that was good.
we all come home,
Yeah. Yeah.
and I spent, I think, 5 different trips down in around Cuba. We spent a lot of time down in there too, hunting. Yeah.
Who would have been at the helm in Cuba at that time? President of Cuba.
Oh.
I'm trying to, Batista?
No.
Our audience is going to call in and they're going to tell us.
Right, well, I hope so. But I know it was, anyways. Yeah.
You said something, and you said Dot's lunch.
Yeah, Dot's lunch.
What is Dot's lunch?
Dot lunch. That was Dot Randall.
Okay.
She lived north of the Ashland Lumber. She had a place in there, and she used to run a lunch counter. Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Dot's lunch.
No, you mentioned it, and
Yeah, we guys used to hang out down there. She was good to us. She was a wonderful lady.
So was that comparable to Fausti's? That's where people
About
would come
the same
in?
idea.
Okay, good.
About the same idea.
So that was Ashland,
We
this
spent
is
a lot of
Plymouth.
time in Fausti's. Who did it? Yeah.
I think, I'm checking, time, it's getting a little close right now.
Oh, my word.
And I was thinking, if you had a group, this is my last question, Gordon, if you had a group of older folks, younger folks here, young adults possibly, what would you share with them based upon your years being on this earth, your wisdom, what you've seen, what has happened in the world? What might you say?
I don't know. As I look around and I see these younger people, it tears my heart out. I'm not impressed by it at all. I don't know if it's because they lack discipline. I don't know what it, but because look at our country today.
Yeah, it's a little different.
It's a pretty sad case right now.
It is.
To think that I had 6 brothers defending it and what it's gone to. I don't care about myself, but I do them. Yeah.
But you look at where we live, and we have to say we're so lucky to live here.
Oh, we do.
So lucky.
Oh my word. Plymouth.
Yeah. Oh.
I lived in Ashland 66 years. No, actually 67, about 67 and a
Nice,
half,
nice.
because I stayed there a year and a half after Thelma passed on. But I'm back home.
What goes around? Here you come.
Yeah.
You're back home.
Yeah.
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 Yep. And this snow is going to pass. And when it passes,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
we're going to have a regrowth.
Oh yeah.
Can't wait. That's for sure.
I'll get back to my flowers. I'm a pansy now.
Oh, are you really?
Oh, sure.
Oh, can't wait for the bulbs to come up through.
Me too.
Yeah,
Me too.
I love it. It's the
Me
best
I
time
do
of year.
too. I do.
We're so lucky to have the 4 seasons.
Oh, we do.
Have we missed anything today that you can think of
I
that we
can't
might?
think of anything. I think you did quite a job.
I didn't do anything. I think you.
Well, no, you. Wow.
It's been a pleasure. It's
It
absolutely
has
been
for
a
me.
pleasure.
It has for
Good.
me.
It's fun
And
telling
I
stories.
really enjoy it. I mean, I enjoy your program.
Oh,
I have watched, I don't know how many, but
well,
a lot
thank
of
you.
them,
Thank you.
and it's wonderful.
We're just
Because it brings back memories for me. you
Absolutely.
know? Yeah.
just hoping, and I'll use this as a closure. This is so much fun what we're doing. If you have a grandparent, your parents, please think about doing the same kind of thing on a lower scale. Get them to tell you the stories and what they remember and why. I think this is what this is all about.
Oh, sure.
This is who,
oh,
this
it's
is
a
who
great
we are.
thing. It's a great
Yeah.
thing.
So I'm hoping that you will catch in with us next month. We'll have 1 or 2 more people coming in to share their stories. I continue to thank Pemmy Baker Television. Here we are doing what we're doing. It's far too much fun. We get paid all this money to do this, right?
Yeah?
Yeah,
Oh, boy.
right.
Boy, I can't wait.
Okay. It's like that 25 cents that I think you got way back when. That kind of thing. Yeah. So we will see you next time. Join us again. We're only trying to tell stories of our community and why our community is so important to all of us. Thank you. See you later.